Hello everyone, welcome to the video course English File Pre-Intermediate 4th edition. Unit 2, Part A, Oh my god, where is my passport? It is the name of this part. Our main focus today is the past simple, regular and irregular verbs. It is revised in detail in this lesson through the context of holidays with free stories about trips where people lose something important. They are quite funny and entertaining. In general, holidays and trips are a good topic to talk about, to discuss it, especially if something unusual and funny happened to you during that time when you were having fun. Speaking of skills, you will practice speaking of your holidays at the end of this lesson. But before, let's prepare for it, yeah? Let's start. Part number 1, reading and listening. Part A, read the title and the introduction to a story. Okay, let's read it. Passport, tickets, money, phone. It's the mantra we always say to ourselves when we go on holiday to make sure we haven't forgotten anything. But what happens when one of those things is suddenly missing? Email us your stories or send us a recording. And now we have a question here. Which of the four things do you think is the worst to lose when you're on holiday? What a good question. I think it's better not to lose anything at all, especially a mobile phone and, what to lose? Your consciousness. Okay, it's a joke. For me, it's definitely, I think, it's a passport. I hate losing my documents and papers. What about you? What is worse to lose? Your passport, tickets, money, or phone? What do you think? Part B. Read the story sent by a reader to an online magazine. What did Stuart lose? Did he find it? So, it's a text, yeah? And unfortunately, we don't have an audio for it, for this. Look, I think it will be a good idea if I voice the text, if I read it out loud for you. Look, the first task is easy. Two questions. What did Stuart lose? And did he find it? Like yes or no question. I think let's go. Last year, I went on holiday to the Alps with a group of friends. One day, we climbed a mountain. Well, it wasn't really a climb, but it was a long walk. And it took about 2 hours to get to the top. When we got there, we had lunch. The view was amazing. We could see the sea in the distance. We took photos and just sat in the sun for a while. Then we went down again, and when we got back to the car, I wanted to take another photo, but I couldn't find my phone. It wasn't in my bag. I thought, no, it's probably at the top of the mountain where we had lunch. I decided the only thing to do was to go back up the mountain to get it, because I didn't want to leave my phone up there. My friends said, okay, but you can't go on your own. So in the end, we all went up again, which was another 2 hours. When we got to the top, we spent about half an hour looking for the phone, but we couldn't find it anywhere. Then it started to get colder. It was now late afternoon, so I took my jacket out of my bag, and my phone was in my jacket pocket. I felt terrible and really stupid. My friends were very nice about it, but they never let me forget it. Before we start doing the second task, I recommend you to study the following vocabulary. Look at it carefully and then let's move on. Part C. Read the story again, then cover it and correct the bold information. Stuart went to the Alps with his family. You see, Stuart went to the Alps with his friends, not with his family. One day they went cycling. It took 3 hours to get to the top of the mountain. They had a snack at the top of the mountain. The view wasn't very good. Stuart wanted to take another photo, but he couldn't find his camera. He went back up the mountain with one of his friends. They spent an hour looking for the phone. It started to get warmer. He found his phone in his bag. His friends were angry about it. Now, listen and read the story again, one more time, and then complete the task. So, you need to correct the bold information, like you change his family, went cycling, 3 hours, a snack, and so on. I hope you got the idea. Now you're ready to work, yeah? Let's go. Last year, I went on holiday to the Alps with a group of friends. One day, we climbed a mountain. Well, it wasn't really a climb, but it was a long walk. And it took about 2 hours to get to the top. When we got there, we had lunch. The view was amazing. We could see the sea in the distance. We took photos and just sat in the sun for a while. Then we went down again, and when we got back to the car, I wanted to take another photo, but I couldn't find my phone. It wasn't in my bag. I thought, no, it's probably at the top of the mountain where we had lunch. I decided the only thing to do was to go back up the mountain to get it, because I didn't want to leave my phone up there. My friends said, okay, but you can't go on your own. So in the end, we all went up again, which was another 2 hours. When we got to the top, we spent about half an hour looking for the phone, but we couldn't find it anywhere. Then it started to get colder. It was now late afternoon, so I took my jacket out of my bag, and my phone was in my jacket pocket. I felt terrible and really stupid. My friends were very nice about it, but they never let me forget it. Now let's check the answers. Number one has been already done for you and for me, so let's start with number two. One day they went for a long walk. It took about 2 hours to get to the top of the mountain. They had lunch at the top of the mountain. The view was amazing. Stuart wanted to take another photo, but he couldn't find his phone, not camera. He went back up the mountain with all his friends. They spent about half an hour looking for the phone. It started to get colder. He found his phone in his jacket pocket. His friends were very nice about it. Давайте теперь переведем быстренько, мало ли тут закралась какая-нибудь полезная лексика. Ну что ж, в прошлом году я, получается, ездил в отпуск в Альпы с группой друзей. Однажды мы, получается, взбирались на гору, или взобрались на гору, можно сказать. Это здесь как? Это не совсем был подъем, такой вот, не совсем было скалолазание, но это это была долгая прогулка, долгий путь пешком. И это заняло у нас 2 часа, чтобы добраться до вершины. Когда мы, получается, добрались туда, когда мы прибыли туда, мы пообедали. Вид был замечательный. Мы могли видеть, это могли видеть море где-то там вдали на расстоянии. Мы сделали несколько фотографий, take photos, типа делать фотки, и просто сидели, получается, на солнце некоторое время. Если нужно, выпишите себе for a while, это какое-то время, недолгое время. Затем мы пошли вниз, то есть мы спустились снова, и когда мы, получается, дошли, got back обратно к машине, я захотел сделать еще одну фотографию, но я не мог найти мой телефон. Получается, мой телефон не был в моей сумке, в моем рюкзаке, может быть. I thought it, я подумал, о нет, it's probably at the top of the mountain, так как это можно перевести. Ну, то есть телефон, возможно, наверху горы, на вершине, там он сейчас, где мы обедали. Я решил, получается, что единственная вещь, которую можно было сделать, это вот так вот можно перевести I decided the only thing to do was, получается, единственная вещь, которую можно сделать, это вернуться назад, ну, то есть, получается, подняться на гору, чтобы забрать телефон, потому что я не хотел, получается, оставлять мой телефон там наверху. Ну, что логично. Мои друзья сказали, хорошо, но ты не можешь пойти самостоятельно, то есть сам один. Поэтому, в конце концов, в конце концов, мы все пошли туда, ну, мы все поднялись наверх снова. Что составило, что было еще 2 часа. Another 2 hours, еще 2 часа. Так, мы поднялись на вершину, и мы, получается, провели около half an hour. Half an hour — это полчаса в поисках телефона. Но мы не могли найти телефон нигде. Мы не могли его найти нигде. Затем начало становиться холоднее. Теперь настал it was now, тогда было, сейчас, получается, поздний день, то есть уже наступил такой поздний afternoon, это где-то 4 или 5 часов, если вот так вот говорить. Еще не вечер, но уже как бы переваливает за день. Поэтому я взял свою куртку, точнее нет, не совсем взял, took out, видите, я вытащил свою куртку из моей сумки, из рюкзака, и мой телефон был, получается, в кармане куртки, in my jacket pocket, то есть в кармане куртки. Я почувствовал себя ужасно и, по-тупому, да, но я тут, думаю, все понимают, о чем идет речь. Мои друзья были, довольно, что такое very nice? Не то чтобы милыми об этом, да, мы обычно переводим слово nice как милые. То есть они вполне спокойно это восприняли. Но они никогда, let me forget it, они никогда не позволят мне это забыть. Ну, видимо, напоминают, там, прикалываются и в таком формате. Ну, forget, если что, забывать. Так, теперь можно идти дальше. Part D. Listen to recording sent to the magazine. What did Martha lose? Did she find it? Okay, the task is similar, or the same actually, similar to the previous one, but this time it will be just an audio without any text. So now listen to the audio and then try to answer these 2 questions. Let's go.
2.1 Marta's story.
This happened 2 years ago. I'm Spanish, but I was in Ireland at the time because I had a job in Dublin. Some friends of mine who lived in Lyon, in France, invited me to come and stay, so I decided to have a short holiday, a long weekend from Friday to Tuesday. I looked for cheap flights, but I couldn't find any direct ones. The only thing I could find was Ryanair from Dublin to Brussels and then Air France from Brussels to Lyon. Anyway, the flight to Brussels was fine, and when I arrived, I went to the gate for my next flight to Lyon. But then when I needed to show my boarding pass and my ID, I couldn't find my ID card. I looked everywhere. in my bag, in my case, but it wasn't there. The people at the gate were very nice, and they made some phone calls, but nobody could find it. So they told me to wait in a small room, and I sat there for more than an hour, and my flight to Lyon left without me. It was awful. I cried. I was so stressed and unhappy. In the end, a policeman came and he said that I couldn't go to France because I didn't have any ID. The only place I could go was to Spain to get a new ID card. I waited another 5 or 6 hours for the flight to Madrid, feeling very depressed. So I never had my holiday. I spent the weekend in Madrid getting my new ID card.
Party? Who could guess? Yeah, now we have another list of questions. Listen to Marta's story again. Answer the questions. When did it happen? When? It's about time. Where did Marta want to go on holiday and why? To what place? Why did she fly to Brussels? What happened at the gate in Brussels airport? How did she feel? Maybe she was angry, maybe she was happy, who knows? What did the policeman say? Where did she fly in the end? What happened there? Now, listen to this audio for the second time and try to answer these questions. Let's go.
2.1 Marta's story.
This happened 2 years ago. I'm Spanish, but I was in Ireland at the time because I had a job in Dublin. Some friends of mine who lived in Lyon, in France, invited me to come and stay, so I decided to have a short holiday, a long weekend from Friday to Tuesday. I looked for cheap flights, but I couldn't find any direct ones. The only thing I could find was Ryanair from Dublin to Brussels and then Air France from Brussels to Lyon. Anyway, the flight to Brussels was fine, and when I arrived, I went to the gate for my next flight to Lyon. But then when I needed to show my boarding pass and my ID, I couldn't find my ID card. I looked everywhere, in my bag, in my case, but it wasn't there. The people at the gate were very nice, and they made some phone calls, but nobody could find it. So they told me to wait in a small room, and I sat there for more than an hour, and my flight to Lyon left without me. It was awful. I cried. I was so stressed and unhappy. In the end, a policeman came and he said that I couldn't go to France because I didn't have any ID. The only place I could go was to Spain to get a new ID card. I waited another 5 or 6 hours for the flight to Madrid, feeling very depressed. So I never had my holiday. I spent the weekend in Madrid getting my new ID card.
So let's see. Number one, when did it happen? 2 years ago. Where did Marta want to go on holiday and why? To Lyon. Her friends invited her to come and stay there. Why did she fly to Brussels? There were no cheap direct flights, so it was an only option. What happened at the gate in Brussels airport? She couldn't find her ID card. Yeah, that's the problematic stuff. How did she feel? Of course, she felt really stressed and unhappy. What did the policeman say? He said that she couldn't go to France because she didn't have any ID. Yeah, Where did she fly in the end? What happened there? Madrid. She got a new ID card and she spent the weekend getting a new ID card. Remember that your answers could be similar. It's not like, literally word by word. No, you can answer them differently, but the main idea should be the same. I hope you got it. Так, ну а теперь посмотрим, что было в аудиозаписи, собственно говоря. История Марты. Это случилось 2 года назад. Я испанка, но я была в Ирландии в то время, потому что у меня была работа в Дублине. Некоторые мои друзья, которые жили в Лионе во Франции, пригласили меня, как бы приехать и переночевать там, побыть у них в гостях. Поэтому я решила to have a short holiday long weekend. Что это имеется в виду? Это короткий отпуск и либо длинные выходные. Короче, что-то между. Получается, с пятницы по вторник. Я поискала дешевые билеты, но я не могла найти, точнее, прямые полеты, то есть без пересадок. Directed, как бы прямой такой перелет с одной точки до другой. Единственная вещь, которую я могла найти, это был какое-то название, даже не знаю. Так, из Дублина до Брюсселя. И затем на Air France, это название компании, что я говорю, название компании, тут особо не важно, из Брюсселя до Лиона. Anyway, это у нас так, в любом случае, полет до Брюсселя был нормальным, и когда я прилетела туда, я сразу пошла я не помню, как это называется, к воротам, или к посадочному месту, получается, на мой следующий перелет в Лион. Но тогда, когда мне нужно было показать мой, получается, boarding pass, это посадочный талон, получается, и my ID. ID это как identical card, это типа что-то паспорта во многих странах. Карточка такая, это удостоверение личности просто. Я не могла найти свое удостоверение личности. Я посмотрела везде, в моем рюкзаке, в моем чемодане, или вот туда, куда вещи складывают походные. Как походные, я имею в виду в путешествиях. Ну, этого там не было. То есть паспорта нигде не было, ID не было нигде. Люди, получается, на посадочном месте были очень, милыми, дружелюбными, и они made some phone calls, они сделали несколько звонков, но никто не мог найти этот ID. Итак, они сказали мне подождать в маленькой комнате, и я сидела там больше, чем час, чуть больше, чем час, и мой полет в Лион, получается, left without me, имеется в виду, он меня, как бы, этот полет, все, ушел, улетел без меня. Так, это было ужасно. Получается, я плакала, я была настолько, не то чтобы в стрессе, да, я была настолько в стрессе и просто грустная и так далее. И в конце концов полицейский подошел, и он сказал, что я не могу, получается, полететь во Францию, потому что у меня нету ID. А единственное место, куда я, получается, могла go was, чего так, the only place I could go was, единственное место, в которое я могла полететь, это была Испания, чтобы там получить новую ID-карту. Удостоверение личности. Так, я подождала еще одни 5 или 6 часов, получается, полета до Мадрида, чувствуя себя очень подавленно, это если мягко сказать. Итак, I never had my holiday, то есть здесь имеется в виду, что в итоге ничего не получилось, это не был отпуском, не было каникулами, то есть я потратила все свои выходные в Мадриде, получая свою новую ID-карту. Вот такая вот история. Теперь можно идти дальше. Part F. Have you ever lost anything important on holiday? What was it? What happened? Okay, let's see how you can answer this question. You can start when I was on holiday in, I lost my, or I lost my, when I, or because I, Here, you don't need to say many details, just a main idea. If you have nothing to say, like myself, you can skip these questions. But if you have something to say about that, do it. Just practice your speaking a little bit. Part number 2. Grammar. Past simple, regular and irregular verbs. Part A. Write the past simple form of these verbs. Are they regular or irregular? Check in Stuart's story. Okay, I hope you got the idea. It's like go, went, climb, climbed. Yeah, you know it. Can you continue this list? There are a couple of extra tasks, like B. Complete the negative verbs, then check in Stuart's story, and so on. Kind of negative, if you remember, of course. And part C. How do you make negative in question in the past simple? With was were, with could, with other verbs. Try to do this. If you can't remember like something particular, it's okay. Your goal, is to do as much as you can, as much as possible, and then you can check yourself and your ideas. Let's go. As you can guess, there is a grammar part, so now listen to the examples.
2.2.
We stayed at a hotel last summer.
He didn't stay with friends.
Did you stay for the weekend?
Yes, I did.
Where did you stay?
I went to Turkey twice last year.
She didn't go to France.
Did you go to Madrid?
No, we didn't. Why did you go?
Past simple, regular and irregular verbs. Let's read these like rules or just one big rule. How can I say it? Okay, we use the past simple to talk about finished actions that happened once or more than once in the past. Just finished actions. I ate, I slept, I went, so actions finished. The form of the past simple is the same for all persons. Like, we don't need to change it like, I like, she likes. No, in past simple, it's all like the same. Like, she liked, she went, I drank, I played, and so on. To make the past simple affirmative of regular verbs, add ed ending. See the spelling rules in the chart. Just ending ed. Play, played, cook, cooked, listen, listened, and so on. Many common verbs are irregular in affirmative past simple, like go, went, see, saw, or we have a lot of them. You must learn them from time to time. Are you doing this, by the way? I hope so. We use didn't plus infinitive for negatives and did plus subject plus infinitive for questions. It's a kind of, so I didn't do it, I didn't go there, or what did you do at the weekend? What did she watch? Or where did you go? And something like that. What about spelling rules? Let's check them. Spelling rules for regular verbs. For some words, we just add ed, like work, worked, stay, stayed. For some verbs, we just put d at the end, like, liked. Add d if verb finishes in e. Study, studied. The letter y can be turned into ied after a consonant like d. Stop, stopped. Yeah, you see here we have double p. If verb finishes in consonant, vowel, consonant, double the final consonant. Just keep in mind one thing, you can't learn this rule by heart and do everything correctly like always. So use your intuition sometimes and just practice, practice, practice. Let's go to a practical part, by the way. In part A, put the verbs in brackets in the past simple. Here it's kind of easy thing if you know how to work with past simple. And part B, complete the questions in the past simple. Something like that. Okay, now try to do it yourself, yeah? And then check your answers and check your ideas. Everything as usual. Let's work a little bit with grammar. Let's go. Now let's work with these exercises together, yeah, with me. Part A, put the verbs in brackets in the past simple. 2 summers ago we had a holiday in Scotland. It's a regular verb. So I put we drove there from London, but our car brake, it's also regular, broke down on the motorway, and we spent, it's also regular, spent the first night in Birmingham. When we got to Edinburgh, we went to our hotel, but they not can find, it's a kind of couldn't. They couldn't find our reservation. And they were, yeah, B was well, they were full. We not know. In the past simple, it's like we didn't know what to do. But in the end, we find it's found a bed and breakfast, and we stayed there for the week. We saw the castle and bought, they're all regular actually, almost all, a lot of souvenirs. We wanted, it's a regular, it's the usual one, we wanted to go to Loch Ness, but we, again, didn't have much time, and it was quite far away. B, it's like it was. Here, the weather not be. So it's kind of the weather wasn't very good, and it started raining on the day. It started raining on the day we left London, and it never stopped. So this story, it's something like this. If you need to see the whole story, I will kind of zoom out a little bit. You can look at it or pause the video, but we continue, yeah? Yes, let's move on to part B. Complete the questions in the past simple. Where did you go on holiday last year? We went to Vancouver. Wow, we had a great time. So, did you have a good time? Yeah, we had a great time. Who did you go with? I went with my family. Next is, where did you stay? We stayed in a hotel here. The plane tickets, they cost about £2,000. It's like, how much did the plane tickets cost? Maybe we can say. How much did the plane tickets cost? They cost about £2,000. Weather like. It's like, what was... Oh, no. Sorry. What was the weather like? It was hot and sunny. Next, number 6. Yeah, the last one. Oh, hooray. We usually went out for dinner. Maybe what did you do in the evening? We usually went out for dinner. Look, I will zoom out a little bit to show you the whole exercises here. You can pause the video and check your answers as well. But let's move on, yeah? Pronunciation, part 3, ed endings. Listen to 3 sentences from Marta's story in one. What regular verb do you hear in each sentence? You need to hear regular verb, like played, cooked, and so on. Try to hear these words. Write down somewhere, then compare your ideas with the answer. Let's go.
2.3. 1,
I looked everywhere, in my bag, in my case, but it wasn't there.
2,
This happened 2 years ago.
3,
I waited another 5 or 6 hours.
Part B. Listen and repeat the sounds and sentences. Like, listen and repeat. Just practice your pronunciation here.
2.4.
Tie. I booked a hotel. We missed our flight.
Dog. I arrived at the airport. We phoned our friends.
Id. She invited us to stay. I needed a new passport.
Let's read this rule. Regular past simple verbs. The ed ending is usually pronounced t or d. For example, booked, arrived. We only pronounce the e in ed when there is a t or a d before it. For example, wanted, ended, and so on. Many of you can pronounce it like book it, arrive it, play it, and so on. You see, it's better to try to pronounce them like t or d. Booked, arrived, played, looked, cooked, and so on. So we don't say like cook it, play it, arrive it. It sounds really strange actually. So try to remember this rule and let's move on. Part C. Say the past simple of these verbs. In which ones is ed pronounced id? Try to say all of these forms like ask, asked, call, called, check, checked, and so on. And then check your answer and listen to the audio. And you can even repeat a couple of times. The more practice, the better.
Two 2.5.
Asked.
Called.
Checked.
Decided.
Happened.
Lived.
Rented.
Started.
Stopped.
Thanked.
Wanted.
Associations. Let's play a little bit. We have a word holidays. Try to say as many words as possible which are connected to holidays. Like for me, it's holidays, yeah, associations. Swim, beach, hotel, food, and so on. Vocabulary part. Holidays. Part 1. Phrases with go. Match the phrases and photos. Okay, here just follow the instructions and learn words and phrases.
Two point six. Holidays. 1. Phrases with go. 7.
Go abroad.
10.
Go away for the weekend.
4.
Go by bus.
8.
Go camping.
9.
Go for a walk.
5.
Go on holiday.
3.
Go out at night.
1.
Go sightseeing.
6.
Go skiing.
2.
Go swimming.
2.7. 2. Other holiday phrases.
Stay in a hotel. Stay at a campsite. Stay with friends. Take photos. Buy souvenirs. Sunbathe on the beach. Have a good time. Spend money. Rent an apartment. Hire a bicycle. Book a flight online.
Let's check this. Rent or hire. Rent and hire mean the same, but we normally use rent for a longer period of time. For example, you rent a flat or an apartment, and hire for a short time. For example, you hire skis, a bike, a boat, and etc. With the car, you can use hire or rent, whatever you like. So, have a look at this information and then we will move on. Part C. Test yourself, cover the verbs, remember the phrases. Everything is usually try to remember. Part 3, Adjectives. Match the questions and answers. What was the weather like? It was. What was the hotel like? It was. What was the town like? It was. What were the people like? They were, and so on. Here we have like comfortable, luxurious, basic, dirty, and comfortable. So try to match them, then listen and check and learn all the words. Let's go.
Two 2.8. 3. Adjectives. 1.
What was the weather like?
It was warm.
It was sunny.
It was very windy.
It was foggy.
It was cloudy.
2.
What was the hotel like?
It was comfortable. It was luxurious.
It was basic.
It was dirty.
It was uncomfortable.
3.
What was the town like?
It was beautiful.
It was lovely.
It was noisy.
It was crowded.
4.
What were the people like?
They were friendly.
They were helpful.
They were unfriendly.
They were unhelpful.
General positive and negative adjectives. Great, lovely, wonderful, fantastic. Okay, not bad, alright. Awful, horrible, terrible. Activation. Talk to a partner. Which do you prefer? Why? Let me do it first, then you will do it yourself. Going abroad or going on holiday in your country. Look, I think I prefer going on holiday in my country. I'm too lazy to book a flight, to go to the airport, and I hate traveling alone. Maybe if I had someone who told me, so you go with me and you have no choice, I would agree. But alone, like with nobody, going abroad, I don't know. Maybe when I get older, it will be okay. But now it's not for me, I think. So, going by car, bus, plane, or train. I prefer going by train. You know, it's so cool when you can have a lie-in, read a book and relax and or talk to strangers and so on. And I'll be honest, I am afraid of planes. I'm afraid of flying. It's not a comfortable way to travel for me. That is why. Next, going to the beach or going to a city. Definitely going to the beach. I like swimming and chilling on beaches, so I think it's okay. Stay in a hotel or apartment or going camping. Hotel, of course. Camping, it's like for me, mosquitoes, like bzzz, and so on. It's cold at night. I don't know, I can't enjoy like camping. And a bear can come and eat you, like, ugh, and stuff like that. So, hotels are great for me. Next, sunbathing, going sightseeing, or going for walks. I think going for walks would be preferable for me. I like walking, just using my own feet. Hot, sunny weather or cool, cloudy weather. It's hard to choose. It depends. But I think I don't like when it's hot, yeah? When it's hot, it makes me feel tired and sleepy. So if we have only these choices, only these, I would choose cool, cloudy weather. It will be better, I think. And the last one, going on holiday with friends or going with your family. Look, my friends, I think, drink a lot, so I prefer going with my imaginary family. It's a difficult question for me. Now, what about you? Can you do the same task yourself and to speak as much as possible, at least to try? Let's go. Part 5, Speaking. Listen to 4 conversations, complete the phrases that B uses to show that she is interested in what A is saying. Useful language for showing interest.
2.9. 1,
I went to New York last week.
Wow! Did you like it?
2,
The weather was terrible. It rained every day.
Oh no, what a pity. What did you do?
3,
We went to a show in the West End.
Fantastic! What show was it?
4,
I lost my phone on the first day.
Really? How awful. How did you lose it?
Now listen again and repeat. Copy B's interested intonations, like how did you lose it? Or what did you do? And so on. No. I mean, don't overreact, yeah, just normal reaction, but with a little bit of surprised intonation, so to speak. But you got the idea. Practice it.
2.9. 1,
I went to New York last week.
Wow! Did you like it?
2,
The weather was terrible. It rained every day.
Oh no, what a pity. What did you do?
3,
We went to a show in the West End.
Fantastic! What show was it?
4,
I lost my phone on the first day.
Really? How awful. How did you lose it?
Look at your last holiday. What are the questions? Your last holiday, yeah? Where did you go? When did you go? Who did you go with? Where did you stay? What did you like? What was the weather like? What did you do during the day? What did you do in the evening? Did you have a good time? Did you have any problems? Look, I think let's do it this way, yeah? Try to tell a story using these questions. You can do it orally or you can write it. If you think what is better, to write it or just to say it, I recommend you to write it, of course, because writing is an important skill. I will do this task orally, so just to give you an example. Okay, let's start. My last holiday. Look, last holiday when I went somewhere, I was maybe 10 or 11 years old, and I and my family went to Adler. It's a city in the south of Russia. We stayed in a hotel. It was quite good, yeah, quite good as I remember, but the shower and, the bathroom was awful. I don't know why. The weather was sunny and hot actually. It didn't rain, but once it was very windy. I would say stormy, but I think only one day, for one day. There were huge waves, like huge waves. So, what did you do during the day? Okay, typical day, yeah? We got up really early because you know why? Breakfast was free, so we didn't pay anything for breakfast, but it was, damn it, at 7 o'clock a.m. in the morning. Mm. Then we went to the beach and, enjoyed our swimming and sunbathing. They are usual things to do on the beach. After that, we usually went to the cafes, you name it. Then we went like sightseeing, to museums, aqua parks, maybe some exhibitions, cinemas, and so on. In the evening, we usually went to the cafe where my father drank beer. So we were there for a while, ate something, drank something, and watched TV. It was like, open air TV. As I remember, we had a good time. We had a good time actually. It was the last time when I and my family all together went somewhere for holidays, for example, or on holidays. Sorry. What about problems? Look, I can't remember any problems. I was a little boy back then, and it is so sad that I can't tell you about my amazing adventures or traveling experiences, but I hope you have something to say, to tell about it, or to write. And now, your turn to do this task. Let's go. Что тут у нас? Грамматика, past simple, regular and irregular verbs. Write the past simple of these verbs in the correct column. То есть впишите, получается, в этом времени в past simple в нужную колонку эти глаголы. Ну, поехали. Так, argue, argued, begin, began. Это у нас неправильный, это правильный. Arrive, это у нас правильный, поэтому пишем вот сюда. Наверное, чуть-чуть побольше сделаю шрифт. Так, это у нас arrived сюда идет. Ask — это тоже правильный глагол. Asked идет сюда. Buy неправильный. Bought — это у нас сюда. Так, can. Он тоже как бы неправильно считается. Помните, can, could. Идем сюда. Точнее, как идем, пишем сюда. Choose. Chose. У нас одну O убираем. Получается вот такая вот вещь. Eat. Ate. Это тоже неправильный глагол. Feel. Felt. Тоже неправильный сюда. Invite — пригласить. Invited идет сюда, в правильный. Rent — rented. Так, say — said. Это у нас сюда. Дальше stay — stayed. И study — studied. Studied идет вот сюда. Вот так вот получилось. Идем дальше. Be. Перепишите предложение. Используется отрицание. We stayed in a hostel. We didn't stay in a hotel. They bought some postcards. Или they bought some postcards. They didn't buy any souvenirs. Так, the people were unfriendly. The people, получается, weren't